Okay, this is a short video to show my DE decks, or whatever I've changed about them. I've had a couple of requests, and instead of making screenshots and sending them around, I thought I'd just quickly record this. I'll just show everything. For Brits, this is just basically the same as before. It's just Cherokee is lower number for less coin. Same no-nat deck. I wouldn't use wood trade in no-nat deck. Native deck, I do use wood trade and drop Cav attack and team infantry HP for cheaper nats. You can also switch and don't use attack and use team HP. That's up to you. I think attack is better. Team is well, for team the HP thing is obviously better. Depends on what you rather play, but at the moment there's a cowback, so I won't be using Brit anyway. I could just just stay in decks. And just switch here, my bad. Okay, same story for China, I won't be using because of cows, but in case. For natives, be using this deck. 2 explorers is strong. There's no space for artillery combat in H3 because of the strong natives card that affect red hands in as well, which make them really OP, so I use this attack only, don't wonder. And since the old hand isn't really a thing anymore, it has been nerfed, I will use Chengda and Arquebusir now, so that's why I have the combat card and not Choconi cards. That's the nat version, that's the no-nat version, so I dropped the wood card. I still use this for red hands, but I get the combat in, in fact I could drop the Choconi cards. Oh, I didn't do this for my nat deck apparently, so I should quickly do that. Food card, whatever, that is not in my deck, and what's the combat? Here you go. Do I have it in my nat deck? I don't have the food card. Well, that makes it easy though. So you put in the food card. I guess that's just a bug, because sometimes it drops the card next to the one you meant to drop. But again, I won't be playing China for now. So now, more interesting one, a new one, Inca. So here I have 3 different decks. Let's start with the most classic one, natives. I'll use a llama card as I use llamas and priests on fire pit, so that's an all-time. I will use this aura card, so my explorer views all natives, and I'll make sure to always have natives with this card, 3 natives from embassies. Use all the food cards, obviously. The trade, that's an interesting story, I'll talk about it in 30 seconds. In my main deck I would use the trade though. Obviously all the upgrade cards, and I decided to only use one of these infinite native cards because there isn't really enough cards to send all of them all the time. You can CP twice and you need wood pretty early on. All the upgrade cards. This is good because it makes all these cards cheaper, especially this one, since it's an infinite one, so it's worth it. This is maybe not the most necessary card, but it makes your boom feel really smooth. Training card. This card is obviously good. Cheaper natives and more natives, which also affects embassies. Then in my no-nat deck, I don't really know why I have it. I just dropped this card basically for the pike card, but I don't really use the pike, so I usually just use this because it also affects these natives. And my 2v1 deck, which could be used for other situations as well, but at the moment the rank is pretty fucked up, so most games tend to be 2v1 if I get newbie mates. I use a wood card and I don't use the trade. The idea behind it is to just spam many plantations, because as you might have noticed, the plantation big button makes them get 1 coin per second, which means 13 plantations about equals 2 factories on coin, and you can just spam many more plantations if you have enough wood on the map. So I won't trade since I don't need to get any more coin. This is actually a boom with which I hit more than 3k score with enough plantations. Yes, 3k. Other than that, nothing special, just wood card because you need many dollars on wood for that. Next, Swedes, the other interesting one. Here I also have 3 decks, so starting with the classic one, the native deck. So you send this card to get bushes next to your tops, so they gather 800 free food all the time. You get the trade coin to food, which is why you have 4 coin cards. And to trade, you get infinite fish, which means every fish crate that you get is a food trickle with 1 food per second. So if you send this often enough, you have a fuck ton of food. Basically same story as coin for Inca. And if you really need food, you can still just gather crates. This card you could argue. It's 200% for Torps on mines, and I know mines run out. There's two options. You could use infinite mine shipment, but I think fish is better. However, I won't drop this card because it snowballs so hard in your boom. Using it will make you boom about 20-30k higher, and 20 to 30k is worth a shipment in my opinion. On the other card, there's not really much to say, right? Infinite native shipment. You probably all saw what these cards do. You can just check yourself. This is the deck anyway. Only difference to no nat is that I dropped a cheaper native card, and this is new. I've done this today, but I haven't checked yet. I put this in to see if it makes them each top drop 2 different berries. I don't know if it does. If it doesn't, put it out, put in this attack card. Full lame, which is basically my favorite deck if I can do. It's a no-nat strategy, and it's implementing the mercs, which means I use this card to get higher merc HP and damage and activate Jaggers and Landstonate and Black Riders in my barracks. And I send Infinite 6 Mamluks. I know it's a lot of pop in cube, but they're insane. They get 2.6k HP with all cav upgrades, 40% range resist. That's really pop effective. Do the math. Insane units, super much fun to play. Only thing is you need to trade a little earlier, so that's pretty coin heavy. For anything else, not really much has changed. I think my Dodge decks, I'll just show them once. Caribs, obviously worth it now in my opinion, fully upgraded and stuff. So you use them in no nat, you don't in nats. No space for it. French. So yeah, you can't really use any coin cards. There's too many good shipments. Use Hurons, use all the native cards. It's pretty much YOLO in, and France is super strong obviously. Infinite 4 Gendarmes. Also good card. Cheaper Gendarme, still worth it even without the train time. And then yeah, you drop Skirm HP because everything else is better, I think. No nat, just no nat. You drop the native card and you get in Skirm HP basically. Yeah. And yeah, I have coin cards in this deck too. And in 1v1, oh no, that's up. Never mind. Wouldn't show my sub decks, little interest in them. German decks haven't changed one bit, so that's literally just the old decks. Not much to say here. India, same stuff. A native deck, classic, a no-nat deck. Currently a little broken because of the Gurkha bug. Also, you don't stack the 4 auto vills anymore. You just go to 99 vills, but every single shipment you send afterwards gets you the villager, which it didn't before. So you can go up to like 106 vills at 40, which is weird, but we'll take it. It's no constant overpop though. Japan decks, always a little weird. Well, my no-nat deck is this one. Is basically just like Ori. Native is just put in the native cards, and what did I get out? The Travoy and H1 I see quickly, and oh, and Daimyo, yeah, because I didn't know what else to get out, and 2 Daimyo is usually enough. And then I have a Water Treaty deck where I drop coin cards and get the fish cards in, because Japan on water is actually insane, having 4 cards boosting the whales, getting rid of the macro and coin issues. It's great. I've tried it. It's really fantastic. If you have a chance to play treaty on water with jabs, do it. Auto, not much has changed again. This is the classic nat stack. You can build forts with explorers now, so you do that. You don't really have anything else. You use church card because it was changed. It's good. You don't have space anymore for the tower limit card, and no that to just put in the Spahi because they look fun to use, and there isn't really anything necessary to need. And then water is obviously just put into 2 water cards. Okay, so ports, not much has changed either. You just put in the 2 corps instead of the 10 mask. Something has moved about when you can send which card, which doesn't really matter. This card for some reason has been buffed, which makes your organs not be one shot, which is nice, but they're still inferior to Horsard. But it does do that your corporants are 3 shots, which is pretty meh. I don't know. I don't like it. I want that reverted. And then in that card, I just drop out HP. Even though you could argue 3-shot corpse is insane, it's just lame, right? I don't know. I'd be free to drop that. Russia. Russia, they changed, so the fort card is the one affecting musketeer HP and attack, so you use it at all times now, and you use infinite 2 mortars, which is good, especially with these mortar boosts. Yeah, they're just stronger. And it's much better than every other card they had. So this isn't the team card anymore. In fact, this card is enough to spam musketeers. This is to spam strelts on any map. You don't even need Incans for it anymore. So only difference is I think I have a building card in my no-net deck. I don't in my net deck. That's about the only difference. This is only 1 fort, by the way, so musketeers can't do 2 anymore, as I wasn't already. Spain, Spain's a cool one. Spain has Spanish gold now. This is my water deck, as you can see. In my normal decks, I use 2 mortars. And you send Spanish gold because it's 400 coin with every shipment. But this is try bullshit. It's actually turned out to not be bullshit. It's ridiculously good, and it's not about using 300 coin. It's obviously about using the 900 food age up in H1, sending these 2 cards in H2, which gives you extra crates, and when you send this, adding with the age up and the 400 gold gives you a fuck ton of resources. So this shipment is insane. Probably worth like 1.2k resources, I'm not exactly sure. Something like that. Aztecs, again, not much has changed. That's literally the same deck, but I use Zapotex now as I have buffed instead of ranged warheads, I think is what I used before. And Water Treaty is just put in the water card instead of faster building. You can always pause if I'm not looking at something long enough for you. Eero is, well, that's literally just the old deck. I won't be using Eero with the cows anyway, but just in case anyone wants to play Eero, this is the deck. Can do some exchange like this. Don't really recommend it. No, it doesn't matter what I changed. And at last, Sue. Don't play Sue because Sue is retarded, but in case you still do, small changes have happened. This boosts your coin gather rate now to trickle. Interesting. I don't know why they moved the TPs, I guess for sub. However, there's interesting infinite shipments. So 15 bisons, 2 interesting native shipments. Aztec's axe riders, and that's obviously not relevant next to bisons, but there isn't really anything else to put in either. I guess you could just drop it and put in building HP maybe. That's about the best I can think of. The reason I don't use the rifle riders is because boat riders are just a better anti-cav. Oh, maybe I should put an explorer card. Reasonable. Alright, so that is pretty much it. That's my decks. Feel free to copy.